we're talking us up. We will be. We're all Arsenal fans, but who do you look at and think, if they are on it,
well,
there'll be trouble?
Liverpool.
I mean, you can't write. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Liverpool haven't clicked, and they will at some point. We live in a world now where it's so reactionary. They've lost 2 games and they're out of it. But they will be back in it, and they will start clicking. They will start scoring goals, battering teams, and we'll think, oh. So Liverpool are an obvious competitor. You're really scared about Man City, I know that. City are a great side with the greatest manager of all time.
And they start slowly a lot of seasons as well.
Yeah.
I think the one thing with City, for the first time in Pep's dominance, they're too reliant on one player. I think, I don't wish an injury on anyone, but if Haaland was to get injured, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble because 90% of their goals gone. And like someone said before, he's actually doing a lot more than scoring goals. He's clearing corners, he's getting back. So I think that City are too reliant on one man. They are quite literally a one-man team. It reminds me a little bit of Van Persie, 2011-12. It's just all him. But they're a great side. I wouldn't write them off. I think it's Liverpool and City. And Liverpool, again, when I compare them to us, it's the defence that I'm looking at. One injury to Van Dijk, then what? Done. So I think we've got that. You look at the last 3 years, what's stopped us from winning the league? Injuries and a little bit of bottle. I think we've gained that bottle from experience and heartbreak, and we've also got the depth to cover the injuries big time now. So it's all about, for me, it's mentality. What scares me about City and Liverpool is they've got that mentality. They've got winners in their side. They've got plenty of players that know what it's like in May to lift that Premier League and Champions League. So it's just all mentality for me.
What are you so worried about City for? They come at our place and bloody low block.
Yeah, Haaland. But if he gets injured, then I'm not worried about him. But he's at the moment he's a freak of nature, isn't he? And I think he's got better.
Yeah.
He scares the daylights out of me. Man City.
He's only got 24 years.
Man City could be stinking the place out, and you're watching the telly. Are they going to drop points here? Bang.
Yeah. Alien.
It's when these wise people are talking to you, it's true.
Obviously, I'm not so in love with Liverpool as a lot of other people are, because I think they badly missed Trent, and I'm glad they badly missed him because the amount of stick they gave him when he decided I want something new. And if you heard some of the phone calls from Liverpool fans, I thought they were disgusting. So they badly missed Trent.
They miss his creativity, don't they?
The 2 fullbacks they got are a liability, especially the one on the right. All he does is get booked. The one they got from Bournemouth, he ain't up to it, mate. So, yet. But and I know I'm gonna. Someone asked me my top 4 the other day. I think it will come 4th once they get Vissa fit. Would be Newcastle. Because I love, the German forward they bought. I think he's a good player, mate.
Yeah.
And with their own record at St James's, I think they're not going to win the league, Rob, but it could cause damage.
That's the thing this season, isn't it, Dylan? There's a lot of teams that can cause damage. Spurs look half decent.
He said Spurs is outsiders, maybe.
I can't say that.
You think Spurs?
He said he can't say it. Well, listen, they're 3rd at the moment. They're 2 points off us.
The goalkeeper, Rob, let them down. If they were to buy a keeper, then I wouldn't be worried. You know what I mean? I'll be like that. Yeah.
What do we make of Chelsea's chances? No,
what do you make?
What do you make? Champions. I don't fear them as much, obviously, as the Liverpool or a City, because I know they're capable of what they did against Brighton last week at home. But when you mention against Newcastle, there are teams like Newcastle about who are going to do damage, not necessarily compete, but they'll be the teams that take your points. So Chelsea have just taken points off Liverpool, Newcastle. Haven't taken points off anyone yet, have they? But Newcastle are a team that once they click into gear, they can, like you said, they've
Chelsea, Tottenham took points off of City already.
Tottenham are a team that are definitely in a transition phase almost, where I think they've gone from a team who I don't think their own players believed in anything about them, but I think now maybe their team's got a little bit more belief. I think they're obviously not going to be title contenders, but I think they're going to be a threat. In terms of the actual title race, though, it's only really the 3 of us, isn't it? City, Liverpool and Arsenal.
You agree with that, Jack?
Yeah, and I think the one thing that sets us apart from those two that you guys touched on earlier is that we have different ways now of winning games that we didn't before. You know, if you can mark Haaland out a game, you've got a good chance. However that is up and down the league. If you can have, but it can happen. He can have an off day, or you can mark him out the game. One of those two, you've got a good chance. Liverpool are amazing when they click, but they kind of have one way of playing at the minute. And if you happen to exploit that on one, they have an off day, you have a great day, you can get something against them. But with Arsenal, I now looking, I'm seeing the roar around the Emirates when Saka and Eze come on at half time. You got Madueke who can come on and win a penalty at the end because he's so direct. You know, Gyökeres hasn't got the goal, so now Havertz is coming on to drop deep and completely change the dynamics. I think we can offer different games within games that the others can't do.
Is Haaland giving you sleepless nights as well?
Oh, 100%, man. We just watched like some of the goals, just like he can bully you.
How many years has he got left?
He's 24.
10, 15. Is it 10 now with you?
The way diets are now as well, and that's going to be a future. It might even go on longer, man. Like, you know, doctors and medicals that gets all better. But yeah, I echo that. I think Chelsea and Spurs. I won't say Spurs. Chelsea are just on the. I think they're like top 4. I wouldn't say they're going for the title, as in they want to, obviously, but I don't think they'll be there. I think it'll mainly. I think, you know what I'm going to say. I think today, as of today, Arsenal are favourites. But again, that goes game by game. Liverpool will be there. Let's not write Liverpool off, you know. Because remember, Trent as well, when he was tracking back, he was terrible at that for Liverpool, and that cost them as well. As much as he was creating, Jeremy Frimpong, we've seen what he's done at Leverkusen. So it'll be Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, and Spurs probably top 8. I don't know where you got that they're going to be in the top.
Well, listen, I'm just saying that they're one of those teams
that
can take points off you. They're taking points off of City already.
They'll take points of you, but they're not going to be a threat at the top of the table. Surely.
Okay, what about you,
Top
Jack?
6 maybe.
Yeah, to mention Spurs, all I will say is I don't think they'll be involved in any title race, but I will say Thomas Frank is a very good manager, and I will give them that.
Yeah.
When it comes to Chelsea, I just think they're too inconsistent. I think they could turn up and beat a team 6-0 next week. I also think they could lose 1-0 to Bournemouth at home. Like I don't see enough consistency from them to actually form any type of challenge. Liverpool, I think they are our strongest contenders, but I would say if you go and play for, I know we mentioned our squad, but I think even our starting 11, yes, our forward line and our midfield might be very close, one of theirs, one of ours, but I think the gap between our defence and their defence is so big. Them full-back positions for them is such a place teams can get at. Like you said, Frimpong, I think he's a right winger. Kirkez has not looked great so far. Calvin Ramsey, is he good enough? We're not sure. Andy Robertson, his leg's gone. When they start playing them 3 games a week and you're going to have to rely on a Frimpong to play 2 of them 3 games a week, is he just not going to be an easy target? Man City, I think it's just a Haaland show. I think their second top goal scorer in the league this season has 1 goal. So it is, if Haaland's not scoring, no one's scoring. So it comes down to that thing, is there going to be a hangover from the Club World Cup? You've got to remember that Chelsea, etc., City have played in these. Is Haaland, Haaland's also quite injury prone. I remember at Dortmund, I think he's had an injury every season in his career so far. Could it come to that Christmas? He gets an ankle, he's out for 2-3 weeks, and they drop 3 games. And then we're back, and then they're back down there.
Remember, they still got your Fodens and people like that as well, though.
We say Foden, but I mean, I don't think any of us have seen too much. He's looking a bit better this season. We got to remember that last season it wasn't great. I think Doku for them is probably their biggest threat, bar Haaland. And obviously, Rodri went down out with an injury again. He seems to not be fully recovered from that ACL. Like I said, he got chucked in the Club World Cup. Probably shouldn't have done that, and that seems to have just came and bit them in the behind. But I don't know, City, I think when Haaland's that good, like we said, we saw Brentford try and stick a centre-back and try and man-mark him out the game, and he just throws him on the floor like an under 8 or something like that. So I think it is just, let's hope, like Matt said, I'm not going to prey on an injury on someone, but if Haaland does get injured, I think that'd be very beneficial for Arsenal.
Right, you know, I'm going to put everyone on the spot right before we finish. What are we going to win this season?
I think our best chance is the Champions League.